Are you ready to hear an inspirational hero tale about one of our four-legged friends? My name is Kim, and this is Harry Hero Tales. Welcome to episode 7 of Harry Hero Tales, Animals to the Rescue. I'm your host, Kim Hagel. In this episode, I'll be sharing a very recent, and at least for me, a practically local story. Shout out to our friend Hunter for sending us this story via DM on Instagram. If you know of a Harry Hero Tales story about an animal saving someone or demonstrating an act of bravery, recent or otherwise, please drop us a message at Harry Hero Tales on Instagram or email us at harryherotales@gmail.com. Now, like our recent story about a hero named Kip, who as a canine officer helped rescue an 80-year-old woman who had gotten lost in Utah, today's story shares the unusual rescue of a young child by a hero named Remi. This story begins not that long ago. As I said, it's very recent, and it was during the first weekend of July 2024. The North Carolina Union County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call from a resident who had been driving along Waxhaw Indian Trail Road in Indian Trail, North Carolina. What the resident saw was unusual and a potentially dangerous situation. Waxhaw Indian Trail Road is a two-lane road that travels north and south between Wesley Chapel Road and Highway 74 in North Carolina. This stretch of road is in an area south of Charlotte, about 20 miles or approximately 35 minutes. Founded in 1861 and today a town of just under 40,000 people, the town of Indian Trail has a history of being along what at one time was the trade route of the Waxhaw Native Americans, which is how the town and this road got its name. So this stretch of road and the area has a history of traders and travelers. And on this day in early July, it was a traveling Good Samaritan who traded some very critical information that likely helped save a young boy's life. The caller described seeing the young boy alone and walking along Waxhaw Indian Trail Road. Clearly alarmed by what appeared to be his very young age and lack of any supervision with him, they called 911. When officers arrived, they attempted to speak with the little boy to ascertain where he lived in order to bring him home to safety. But there was something special about him that made it clear he was not able to tell them where he lived. Wanting to assist and definitely thinking on their feet quickly, the officers decided to call in the canine unit for assistance. Officer Belk and canine officer Remi were brought in right away. Remi, a very young bloodhound at only a year old, had been placed with Belk, and together they had gone through traditional canine training. But this was different. Normally, when a child or person goes missing, officers begin the search at what is believed to be the last known location before the abduction or a scene of an accident, various circumstances before the person has disappeared. In this case, they had a lost child who would not or could not speak to the officers to help him get back home. So this is not part of the canine training. Deciding to give it a try rather than go door to door in nearby neighborhoods that one officer described later to news media included up to 1,000 homes trying to find out who was missing their 6-year-old, the officers elected to give reverse tracking a try. Using what was described in news broadcasts that I saw, a gauzy material that they had rubbed on the back of the boy's neck and arms, Remi was then provided a sample sent to track back to the origins of this lost child. According to Belk, in news stories that came out later, Remi began to travel along the road and through a neighborhood. He was giving sharp turns and tugs as he followed the boy's scent, and he moved pretty quickly. At one point, the dog had clearly traveled past a turn. He had to work the area before he caught the scent again, and then traveled down a turn he had just passed a few seconds before. And guess what? Remi was successful in bringing officers right up to the home the little boy had walked away from earlier. The distance from where he had been picked up by police, it was about 1/2 mile. The whole thing of giving Remi the scent to track, starting his walk and retracing steps to keep on the scent straight to the door of the boy's home took approximately 15 minutes. Can you imagine how long that would have taken if police had actually tried door to door first? Amazing. Once there, they learned why the lost little boy wouldn't or couldn't tell them anything about himself, including where he lived. Parents, shocked and relieved, of course, that he was home safe and sound after being seen by a good Samaritan who had called police, well, they explained that their son has autism and is completely nonverbal. So there never was a possibility at any time of him being able to tell police where he lived. They determined that the boy had somehow gotten out of a door in the garage and wandered off without anyone seeing him do it. But thanks to the caller, who noticed something was wrong and called police, plus the very quick and smart thinking of the police to bring in Remi to do a reverse search, the little boy was home without a scratch or injury. Now, determining that this was a case of a wandering child and not a situation of neglect or abuse, the parents are not facing any charges by the Union County Sheriff's Office in regards to this rescue operation. And Remi? Well, he's now an example of what appears to be a new protocol for canine training. According to a news broadcast by WBTV, Channel 3 out of Charlotte, North Carolina, the Union County Sheriff's Office indicated that they will be adding training to help locate homes in reverse when they encounter lost children or possibly adults who can't communicate where they live. So, way to go, Officer Belk, and nice work, Remi. While that only touches the surface of this amazing hairy hero, we have to leave it there for this episode. If you know of a great hairy hero tale and would like to hear it on this podcast, email us at hairyherotales@gmail.com. For more information on this program, visit our website, www.hairyherotales.com. That's TAILS.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you get your podcast. This is a Southpaw Productions podcast, edited, produced, and hosted by me, Kim Hagel. Opening and closing music provided by Mary Selvage. Be sure to follow her on Instagram at Selvage613 for her live show schedule, and check out her complete catalog of music available on Spotify, Apple Music, and more. And remember, there are hairy four-legged heroes all around us. Who knows, you might even adopt one. I've adopted many little heroes from some amazing animal rescue organizations, and I've featured 2 on my website. the All-American Dachshund Rescue, and the French Bulldog Rescue Network. If you are looking to rescue your next hero or would like to help with transport or financial support, I highly recommend both of these organizations. Neither are affiliated with this program in any way, but both have my sincere gratitude and support. Thank you to all the heroes of the world, and a special shout out for hairy heroes everywhere.